Hey, you guys, welcome to the Heavy Hitter Podcast. This is episode number 5. Tonight we talk Gary V. We talked the NFL draft and Agent 2021. That was a conference put on by Gary V down in Miami. And that is where I met the Savage, Josh Johnson. Say what's up, Josh.
Hey, what's going on, heavy hitters? Big Lope Dog. I was listening to Gary V this morning, and he had Broman. Is that what his name is? Broman from Twitch.
It's the video gamer we were talking about.
So I want to know, not that we have any listeners right now, Big Daddy, but I thought about after watching that, and they're talking about how they're on Twitch, they're called broadcasters or streamers. So I came up with the name. I think I'm gonna call you Streamin' Steve. If that's all right. Kind of like Scooby Steve, but from that movie.
Hey, everybody needs a good nickname. And
yeah.
If mine is Streamin' Steve, I'm gonna roll with it.
Streamin' Steve, you're Lopercon, dog.
Not many people are listening to this, and you live in Minnesota, and I live in North Carolina, so you call me Streamin' Steve all you want.
I love it, dude.
If it catches on, that means something.
Dude, so we've got 23 minutes tonight, and again, I think we're gonna tie in Gary V in almost every single thing that we do tonight, because 23 minutes, Gary, I know, fucking hates that number because it's Michael Jordan's number.
Yeah, he's not a fan.
Not a fan at all. He's a Patrick Ewing. But Gary, I apologize. I don't know. I'm not even gonna fake like I know. I don't know what number Patrick Ewing is, but I know, wasn't he like the finger roll Big Daddy in the Knicks?
Well, Gary V's got a thing for 5. Was it 5 by chance?
Yeah, so it's episode 5, Gary.
Yeah. I met Gary down at the conference down in Miami, and I was like, a little bit starstruck. Gary's my boy, he's somebody I look up to. And I get it before even the conference starts. I could walk up to him like, hey man, you mind if I get a pic with you? This, that, and the other. And we go to take a pic. I'm holding my cell phone, and he goes like this. And the next thing you know, I go like this. And I'm like, I don't fucking do that.
You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I know that's what I did too when I took a selfie with him in the parking lot. I know you met him in the parking lot at Hard Rock, right?
No, I saw him in the parking lot at Hard Rock. And then as soon as we got to the stadium in Miami, like I was right behind his car. So whenever he got out, I was like, stop here, stop here. And
nice, dude.
Grabbed him for a few minutes, but
nice, dude. So we got 20 minutes to pound this out, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, I mean, that's a cool thing that I guess kind of tying in Gary and Agent 2021. I mean, how fucking cool is that I met you in Miami on a whim, just happened to sit next to you in the VIP section. I can say that spending that $2,000 was probably the best ROI that I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, so with that, I mean, wouldn't you encourage not just Agent 2021 or VoiceCon, what Gary has coming up, but what would you say to someone who's maybe kicking around the idea of like, oh, I don't know if I should go to that conference. I don't know if that applies to me.
Yeah, well, I am a believer now in conferences. And one thing I didn't do before was go to conferences. Like I didn't want to go and talk to these people, or, I didn't even know it was about talking to these people. But Agent 2021 made me realize that that's what it was about. It was like whatever the speakers had to say, you were surrounded by like-minded individuals all around you, and go to the conferences that you really want to go to, like the ones you want to go to, not like your boss wants to send you to a conference that might stink, but the ones that you're really interested in, go to those, like those meetup groups. Like if you're into videography, or if you're into, Barbie dolls or whatever the heck it is, like if that's what you're into, go to those.
Right.
Going to be like-minded. I love that part of it.
Well, and I think that's what people miss, man, is they all think that it's about like information or this secret nugget or whatever. And it's like, you know what, dude, like you've got all the information that you need. You just need to take action on it. So what it's all about is, I think something that we touched on last night was, relationships, getting an ass in the chair, with that Project Cut that you did, creating relationships. Again, that's what conferences are about, creating those relationships.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I was going because it was Gary. It was something I was interested in. And then next thing you know, I sat down and I asked you, is this seat taken? You're like, no, man, go ahead.
Yeah. You're like, who's this guy? That sounds like he's from fucking Canada.
Yeah.
Can I get you a Labatt Blue, mate?
Yeah.
Not that they say mate in Canada, but you know what I mean, dude.
I get you. But yeah, the conference gig is good. And didn't realize how expensive it was. I'm not somebody that could really afford to fly to Miami and stay in a hotel and pay $2,000 for a ticket to go down there. But I creatively got there by saying, hey boss, I got an idea. Why don't you send me down to this conference? I think it would be good for business. And, I really did believe that because in my job, I regurgitate Gary Vee all the time. So if I can go down there, pick up some nuggets, meet some people, make some contacts, there's no telling. So I creatively figured out a way to be able to go to this conference versus spending it out of my own pocket.
Well, and I definitely think that, I mean, big ups to your boss and, to where you work. I won't name them because I don't know if they want to be mentioned, but I think that's huge, dude. Like that's absolutely huge, whether you realize it or not, whether they realize it or not. You definitely brought a ton of nuggets back. And I mean, I think, the big thing for you is you're living it. Like a lot of people like talk all this shit about how they need to be on social and all this, but like you actually live it. And that is so huge to like clients and to acquaintances and all that kind of shit. Like it definitely, it was worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bottom line. Don't want to spend, a whole lot of time on that because we only have 17 minutes and I'm going to honor that for you tonight, dude.
Well, Josh, what was your overview of the conference? Just to sort of give people feedback of like, from your impression from walking in to your break-off sessions to hearing the speakers, to the book signing and walking out, like overall, like spend a minute on it.
Yeah. So I would say, I mean, dude, it was at Miami Dolphin Stadium, or whatever you want to call it. It was like freaking awesome to walk out on the field and be like, oh, does Finkel and Einhorn? Where's the kicker to, where's the Dolphin from Ace Ventura? Super cool. I mean, Gary got on stage, really lit it up like he always does in his keynotes. I mean, I would say you probably didn't hear anything new there. I think the biggest takeaway that I had though from his thing was how, and he's mentioned it before, but how everyone's romantic and everyone's trying to be like this big dog and like there's this big wave coming and everyone wants to flex and stick their chest out. But he's like, you're gonna get fucking run over if you don't get with this social, if you don't go all in on social. And from that, I was feeling that vibe and I was feeling what he was saying up until that conference. But after that conference, I was like, holy shit, like, and anything that doesn't have any kind of like brand loyalty, anybody that's not on Twitch or like, I don't get why you're spending billions of dollars on TV and you're not on Twitch, like where all the attention is. I mean, Drake and Ninja had 600,000 viewers the other night. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it was really good, man. I thought it was. So with that though, I mean, Gary loves to pull at both ends. Like, I'm the best person in the world. I'm also a piece of shit. Like, this is awesome and this sucks. Like, I will say, Gary, like, I was a little disappointed. Like, I mean, the VIP ticket was $2,000, and then we had to stand in line for an hour and a half just to like meet you and take a picture. I guess I don't know what the big fella expected, but
I was surprised at the Ask Gary V portion that we weren't included with that. I was like,
I know that was kind of whack.
Thought we were going to be there.
That was kind of whack too, Gary. I don't know. Yeah, but I thought it was good. It was a good starting point. I think it's only going to get better in the coming years. What are your thoughts or takeaways?
Yeah, one of the takeaways I came back and did a presentation on the whole thing. I made like a not PowerPoint, but a slideshow basically, and presented it. And one of the best things that I liked was him talking about the internet and he comparing it to Malibu. Like, at some point there was no houses on Malibu.
Yes.
And then he, somebody said, "Oh, I want to buy this beachfront property in Malibu. There's nothing here, and it's booming, it's booming, it's booming." But in comparing that to social media and digital media and podcasting and all sorts of different media, that across the street still available, guys. Like, Malibu's taken, sure, you have your heavy hitters,
right?
Across the street still available, guys, and there's some very, very valuable property there,
right?
So attack now, attack fast, just get going
fast and furious. I mean, and that's the thing, like with this whole like podcasting with Twitch, anything that else is going to come along, it's just a big land grab right now.
Yeah, he's constantly telling telling folks to, hop on Musically, to how many times are you posting on Instagram? How many times are you doing this, on uh, Twitter? Like, let me see your phone. Let me see your feeds, and it's actions taking action, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, let me ask you this. Are you going to go next year?
Yeah, I'll go next year. If you go next year,
All right. Well, shit.
we're gonna actually skip one of the sessions and stay in our seats in the infield and record a podcast right then.
Ooh, I like that, dude.
Yeah, we don't just being there and talking about the experience of being there.
I like it, dude. Maybe bring a videographer. I would like to throw it out there. I almost want to like say, Gary, if you ever listen to this or stumble upon this, like the only way we're gonna go is if you do a podcast with us next year. But I know how you fucking roll, Gary. You'll be like, no, fuck you. Like that's just how you roll. That'll make you not want to do it. But I will tell you this, Gary. If I can talk some shit for a little bit, I'll beat your ass in some double dribble, son.
Yeah.
I just got it. And if I lose, Gary, I'm just like you, bro. Like I'm gonna rip your controller and I'm just throw it up against the wall in your fucking studio, and Tyler can fucking duct tape it.
Yeah, Tyler, go buy him a new one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
C's looking for sponsors. Maybe he wants that heavy hitter podcast sponsor in the back.
Maybe in 2021, the last year of the conference, that's the expiration date of the conference.
Right.
That the name doesn't make any sense, but maybe me and you will be presenters, and he can say, look what these two guys did. They came in, 2017 or 2018, and now it's 2021. And go back and listen to episode the third
5.
episode. Yeah, the episode 5. And this is their third episode 5, but really it's our episode 3 because I didn't publish the first 2.
Right, because they suck so bad.
Yeah. Now they're 419 episodes in with 2 points. They're not 2.7 million, but you know what I'm saying, like subscribers or something like that.
Right.
Never know.
You never know. And maybe we don't, dude. Maybe not. Well, the market decides, right, Gary? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So we got 11 minutes, bro.
Man.
So we wanted to talk about Agent 2021, Gary V, Vayner Sports. Am I missing anything? That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Just real quick, just on the point of Gary V, how did you stumble across him to begin with?
I like that. That's a solid question, dude. It was my buddy Jonathan Garrick. Big shout out to Jonathan Garrick. He is works for Movement Mortgage. You ever heard of Movement Mortgage?
I have not.
Supposedly they built like a school down in North Carolina, South Carolina, or something like that. But Movement Mortgage is you'd have to look them up, but they're really big. I love how they just kind of do things and their philosophy. But anyway, so Jonathan Garrick and I were working together at the time. He turned me on to Gary. He's like, hey, you really need to start listening to this guy, because we basically were doing the same thing, working with sales professionals, insurance agents, and telling them how they need to be using Facebook and Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff and digital marketing. So a lot of the times, we would kind of regurgitate what Gary was saying, and I guess that's kind of how we came across him. How about you? Was it? I forget. I think you told me. Was it one of your buddies?
Yeah, it's probably my poker buddy, Derek Timbush. He's really into marketing. He was in the music scene back in LA, and he lived in New York for a little while. And I think that's how I came across him, or maybe I just stumbled across him online. But he's been sort of my Gary V buddy that lives in the neighborhood. So like everybody else has their opinions about stuff, but me and him, we're quick to send those Gary V quotes about, no regrets, bro. And, just whatever we can come up with. But
400 trillion to 1.
Yeah. 400 trillion to 1 is my favorite one. And for those of you that don't know what 400 trillion to 1, those are the odds of being born a human. So out of the gate, we're winning. We're lucky. We're lucky to have this one chance, this one opportunity of life. So 400 trillion to 1, just let it sink in for a second. I mean, come on.
One life, one at bat, 400 trillion to 1. And that's actually what Streamin' Steve, he's like, wants to change the podcast to, is 400 trillion to 1. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe it'll be I don't know, dad bod something too. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So you've been following Gary for what, 3 years?
Oh no, man. Hell.
4 years? 5?
Longer.
since Wine Library?
No, it was after Wine Library, but it's been a long time. I can't put a date on it. I don't know.
So I am curious. I mean, with Wine Library, does Stream and Steve even like wine?
Uh, no,
No.
no. I could fake the funk whenever I need to, but no,
Yeah.
no.
All right. I thought maybe you'd be like, like a Cabernet Sauvignon or however the hell you say
No,
that.
no, no. It's the rosé, man. He's hot on rosé right now.
I know everyone's hot on rosé.
Not me. I don't even think I've ever tasted it.
Never tasted rosé.
No,
Yeah,
like so.
it's all right. I think I've only tasted it once. So
Like I told you tonight, I went out and it's either like if I'm gonna do drinks, it's not gonna be wine. Um, sometimes it's Captain and Coke, sometimes it's
ooh,
cold beers, but it's either like I want to have 4 or 5 of them, and get loosened up and have fun, and relax, or I'm not gonna have any.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
just I don't know. I don't know.
It's too much like carbs and sugar, dude. Like I'm on this like keto kick, and that's why I really wanted to like bring on that guest talking about like the Whole Foods or
Yeah, yeah,
whoever
yeah.
your friend is, and kind of compare that with like the keto and kind of the keto lifestyle that I'm doing. Unless I was in Vegas, because then it was like see carb, eat carb,
Yeah.
and
Her name's Carissa. We'll get her on in the next like 2 or 3 shows or something like that. Talk about some healthy eating, man. Because look at us both, bro.
look at us,
Yeah.
Carissa. What do you think? Is there still
Yeah.
hope for us?
No,
I don't know.
we'll see.
There's for you, Stream and Steve.
All right, so
Hey,
NFL draft. What is it? Josh Rando, or no,
jo-
no, Josh Rando's his Twitter name, but he is Vayner Sports top NFL recruit for this draft.
Josh
And
Jackson.
Josh Jackson, yeah, at
Josh
Josh
Jackson,
Rando, yeah.
straight out of Iowa. But if you're a Minnesota Gopher fan, you'd be like, "Who hates Iowa? We hate Iowa."
I do not think he's been drafted yet. Let me refresh the page real quick so we can tell you pretty quick. Not yet. So
I heard he plays for one of the Yankees. No, what is that from Tommy Boy? Where he's like looking out the window and Tommy comes back to the room and shit, and he's like, "Who's your favorite little rascal? Was it Alfalfa or was it Spanky?"
Who's that?
that?
Yeah, yeah. Who's the actor in that? What's his name? He died.
Chris Farley
Yeah, Chris Farley. David Spade.
and David Spade. You got it, dude.
Yep.
So anyway, Josh Randall out of Iowa. Again, like when Stream and Steve and I decided to do this podcast, like we didn't want to talk about shit that we don't know, but I mean, we know enough, bro. Like, I mean, you play fantasy football. I play fantasy football, been very competitive. It actually surprised me the other day. I got an email, won $150 because I took first place and I just fucking forgot about it. Took second last year, and I'm always pretty much in the championship. But it's just how it is, dude. Like, I guess if we can talk about it real quick, is when you watch football on Sunday, and I've got a couple kids, you got 3 kids. I mean, our days of watching football all day Sunday are pretty much gone. At least for me.
I try to make it like a thing,
Yeah.
It always starts off good, like the first 2 or 3 weekends, and
Right.
then it fizzles. But they get excited. The Panthers are on. I'm doing wings and stuff, but after that, it's kind of like, hopefully we can get it in. And
Why you gotta talk about buffalo wings this late at night, dude? Now
sorry.
I'm feeling like
Don't do it. Carissa, if you're hearing this, the guy's got a buffalo wing problem.
I do have a buffalo wing problem. Almost want to call the podcast Flat Daddy. Anyway,
I got something for you about Gary V.
Yeah.
And football. So this ties in well. He wants to buy the Jets.
Yes.
And North Carolina didn't have a football team for years and years and years. I think it was 1996. Was it 96 that the Panthers came? So like as soon as they came, I was like, all right, North Carolina, born and raised, that's my team. So I started in 96. I was already like graduating high school. And but now I find myself like, I grew up in ACC country, like ACC basketball, and you had Carolina State and Duke all close by, but I was an hour south, and I never picked Carolina State or Duke. I kind of always cheered for the ACC and never really, really picked a team. And even though the Panthers came and that was the only team, like that's where my loyalty lies. But I'm such a Gary V fan that I almost want to say I'm a Jets fan because I was a Jets fan before Gary V bought them because I wanted to be a Gary V fan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to be a Jets fan because whenever he owns them, I can say you're the reason I freaking am a Jets fan, and now we're winning championships or something along those lines.
Yeah,
You know?
right. Right. I can say something that ties into that. I did buy a Jets sweatshirt, probably, dude, I don't know when it was, but it was when Brett Favre actually went and played for the Jets. If you remember that,
Yeah.
I'm a huge Brett Favre fan. So when he went, I ended up buying a sweatshirt, a couple of what the hell, beanies or whatever. But and I'll tell you, Gary, I was ever since like Gary's been high on the Jets, I've started cheering for the Jets, although I don't watch them. And Gary, no, I can't fucking name an offensive line person, so I'm not gonna act like I'm the biggest fucking fan ever. But I will tell you, I did like Matt Forte, Brandon Marshall. I'm very excited about what Teddy Bridgewater could do if you guys don't trade his ass. Because didn't they pick up a quarterback tonight, the
Yeah,
Jets?
they did. They did.
So the only thing I heard that the Jets are on the hook for is like a $500,000 signing bonus. So they could let Teddy go, which I think would be a shame, dude. I think Teddy, he got hurt. I don't know if you follow Teddy at all because he's a Minnesota Viking.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah. So I mean, he hurt his knee. He was out all last year. But dude, I think I don't know. I think he could turn into something. But anyways,
Chris Johnson, remember Chris Johnson, running back, Tennessee Titans. He was like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
CJ 2K.
yeah.
He played for the Jets for a little while, and he went to East Carolina University where I graduated from.
No shit.
So he was a little, I liked the Jets that year that he was there.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of any East Carolina Pirate that goes into the NFL, like David Garrard, quarterback for the Jaguars. Vontae Leach plays for Baltimore.
Yeah, yeah.
Dwayne Harris.
Dwayne Harris too.
Yep. So
Cool.
got a lot of good ones. So
And Eric Decker, he went to the University of Minnesota, Golden Gopher.
yeah,
He was there. He did. I think he's married to that Jesse James or whatever.
I follow her on Twitter.
Oh, you follow her
Yeah,
on Twitter? You follow
I
everyone on Twitter, dude.
do. I don't follow that many, man.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
Let me see. I follow. Let me see how many people I follow on Twitter. 623. That's respectable.
623. So it is 10:30. So I mean, I wanna honor that if that's what you want to do, bro. And we can cut her short or cut her. I guess it's not really short, but yeah.
Well, give the people some value to end on. We just don't want to cut you guys off. So just give them a nugget to think about, Josh. Off the top of your head, on the spot, go.
Oh shit, dude.
No.
I guess
Pressure's on, bro.
I got a couple things. So like it almost sounds like an old like rap tune, like every little place we go, every little city we know. Was that Tupac? I'm not gonna finish the song because it's derogatory towards women. I'm not down like that. I will say, but everywhere I go, like everyone keeps like talking about buffalo wings, dude. Like even on the way back from the Bellagio in Vegas to McCarran Airport, the driver at like 9 a.m. is like, is it too early for buffalo wings for breakfast? I'm like, fuck no, never, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know. No, it's not. And by the way, if you eat buffalo wings with a fork, just don't.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the texture, you don't like the bone on your teeth, I don't even know what to say to you. But the other thing that I want to leave you with some value is if you're looking to play some fantasy football, let me and the Big Lope Dog, String and Steve know. We might have some good picks for you. I don't follow college football, but that has suited me very well over the last 4 or 5 years. And I'll tell you, the biggest secret, we should get this guy on the podcast, thehuddle.com. Thehuddle.com. I can't remember. John Tuvey is his name, actually. And they've got something every day. They've got like different cheat sheets. I always look at their cheat sheet before draft night. And that's all I do. And I tell you what, I've actually looked at it the last couple of years. I've drafted pretty shitty. but I play very well, like managing it week to week, or kind of like who's on the come up. So I don't know. How about you, Big Daddy? Leave me with a little
Oh,
nugget.
no. This is the on the spot segment, or what'd you call it? A bit. This
The
is the
bit.
yeah. You just catch somebody off guard with some random question and see how they react.
Now I suppose you've been thinking about it though. So now,
Well, I
like,
was over here looking at the book, man. I was over here looking at the book, getting an idea, and I got one.
what is it?
I so happened to open up Gary's Crushing It.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I came across a podcast section, and there's just a podcaster, a godsend for two reasons. And I'm just going to read the first one, and we can chit chat about it for a second. Most people aren't comfortable on camera. They think they look stupid. They worry about their hair, their glasses, and their makeup. They fuss over the lighting. None of it matters, but it's enough to distract them from concentrating on providing the best experience they can for the viewers. Podcasts are far less intimidating. Um, there's really nothing to talk about there. That all makes perfect sense. So I don't know why the hell I read that. I thought I was going to say something good, but Josh and I both love social media. We know the value of social media. We know the value of digital media. We know the value of video. We know the upcoming, the increasing value of voice. And instead of just talking about things we could do, like everybody's a thinker, everybody's a talker, but not everybody's a doer. And that's what we are here trying to do, is just do. And it's not perfect today, guys. We totally get that. But our goal is just to do it now and improve every single time we do it, and just get better as we go. So if you're out there listening to us, we appreciate you guys. We thank you. Any comments, any questions that you have, feel free to leave them. Subscribe to us on iTunes, on Anchor, or wherever you're listening to the podcast at. Just give us some type of feedback. Rate us a 5 if you would. Or give us that 3, that no good 3, but we'll take whatever. It's value to us. Josh, I'm trying to just close things out here.
I know, dude. And then you get to talking, and then like I just want to fire up again.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean that's a great place to leave it. Mom, thanks for listening. Maybe the only person listening. But the biggest thing again that I would say is, you know what? Yeah, like who's this dude that sounds like he's from Canada? He's got like fucking long, scraggly hair. Sounds like, I don't know, fucking whatever. The thing is, hey, if I can do it, outdo me. You do it better. Take it and run with it. But like Big Stream and Steve said, just take action, dude.
Yeah, like
do that.
Like I read that paragraph. It didn't even say anything. Like, I'm just trying here, folks. It could have been a golden piece of nugget that I pulled out and changed the world forever. It's just the wrong one. But damn it, I did it and I tried.
I actually think it was good though, dude. And it gets me thinking that I almost wonder if we would do better if we didn't see each other. But because sometimes, like, I feel like looking at you, like I feed off that. But then, it is kind of human psychology where I look down in the corner and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look.
Minimize your screen, bro.
Maybe I should. Yeah. Maybe I should going forward.
We'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. That'll be a test run.
All right, cool. All right, bro. Hey, I'll let you get running. I know it's been a long day. I really do appreciate you. You got some good shit.
Yeah, man. This has been fun. Looking forward to doing more. This is episode 5. Again, follow us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram, on Anchor, on iTunes, wherever you can. It's the Savage Josh Johnson in Minnesota you're looking at there in the red shirt and the hat over there. And this is your boy, Streamin' Steve. Streamin' Steve, heavy hitters, sucker. All right, you guys have a good night. Take care.